believe VFAM Dark Minions. So let's take a look at this game. And we will be going into game number 2. Spawning down here in the bottom right-hand side. Another one of Vibe's minions. The darkest of minions. It is VFAM Dark Minions. And his opponent spawning the top left-hand side. Our red Zerg player, it is Neffin Pollux. That's a cute emote, man. Or whatever you want to call that banner thing. It's got an RPG, and I'm trying to figure out what the other gun is. It looks like a just like a M4A1 with a scope, or am I seeing that? Or is it like a SCAR or something? Can't tell. Someone who's better with guns would be able to recognize that. Actually, oh no, that's like, it's hard for me to tell. Pretty sure that's just an assault rifle with a scope. Anyways. Guns. Gonna put 3 guys on gas here very early on and drop that spawning pool. So it looks like, was this like a 17 gas, 17 pool, or 16 gas, 16 pool from Pollux? Gonna be like super safe, maybe gonna get quite aggressive. Meanwhile, Dark Minions here going for that hatch first. Up to 19 supply before putting down the spawning pool. Greedy boy build over here. That's gonna be pretty sick. Question from chat, Nikolai says, can we see something with Protoss next? I would love to show you guys some Protoss games. Fortunately, didn't get too many Protoss submissions. I am not the one usually who vets the replays, but usually we try to pick the most action-packed or just crazy, ridiculous games. Definitely, we do try to always get a mix, but sometimes we just don't get too many that happen to, you know, meet the submission requirements, or they're not quite as exciting as the other ones. So we always choose excitement and whatnot over, and just general entertaining games over the separate matchups. Normally, we do have a good mix though, so don't worry, I'm sure next week there will be. Make sure if you are a Protoss player, you submit some replays yourself as well. It will be knife fight in a phone booth for the challenge next week. You cannot go past 40 workers. So keep playing. You definitely can't go past 40 workers, and you will have some action-packed and ridiculous games. Right now, Pollux coming across the map with 4 early Zerglings here. That delayed 19 pool for Dark Minions, and he delayed his early Zerglings, means he's only building 10 Zerglings right now. So he's going to have a little bit of a struggle with these first 4 Zerglings, but his own dudes will pop out soon enough, so should be able to chase this off in just a moment. And there we go. Does end up turning it away. His double queen does pop. Meanwhile, back at home, the natural's only just finishing for Pollux, while the third is already halfway done. So Dark Minions with the Greedy Boy builds is looking very healthy in terms of lava and soon economy as well, if he doesn't get too much pressure put on him. Pollux, though, has the Zergling speed. Already has the Baneling Nest on the way as well. And oh, accidental Overlord flies into the main base. This is the Overlord who forgot to go to pervert school. He never got taught how to hide in the bushes. He just kind of walked out into the open. Didn't even have a trench coat on covering himself. He was just like the guy who just like strips and just runs through the shopping mall naked. It's like, no man, you got to hide in the bushes. You got to have a trench coat. You know, you got to choose your target calmly and slowly. But unfortunately, Pollux Overlords never learned that. Neither did Dark Minions either, apparently. Both of these guys have very amateur pervert Overlords, not very refined in the art of peeping Tomery. Looks like Pollux going to be going for a couple Banelings morphed over here. Going to be trying to get aggressive. 6 Banelings are morphing down there. More and more Zerglings are on the way. We've got Zerglings here for Dark Minions, but not very many of them. There we go. Zerglings do come down from the third base. He's going to try and defend, but he's got nothing to fight these Banelings right now. No, oh my god, he does dodge. He dodges for the moment. Dark Minions. He's up in economy right now, at least up in bases. He's not really up in worker count, and he has to defend this. His drones, though, they're all exposed. Oh, those Banelings. I think they manually detonated. They all just blew up on nothing there. Pollux wastes his Baneling detonation. He says, whoops. He knows he messed up. Oh, he could have taken down a lot of drones there, taking a nice little worker lead. Right now, back at home, he's going for an Evo, Roach Horn, and a Spine Crawler. But there are a lot of Zerglings out right now for Dark Minions. And, man, Pollux doesn't even have a Baneling at home. Pollux is only building 10 Zerglings right now. Oh, this is going to be really frightening. Dark Minions is going to have absolute map control with these Zerglings. He sees there's no third base. Behind this, he's droning up, adding his own Spine Crawler. He might even be able to just run into this natural and do some massive damage, but sends a Zergling ahead, and he sees that there's not that many units. He's going to start going for it, but by now the Baneling's about to finish. Oh god. Okay, does pull back just in time. Traps these Zerglings out front, takes a good little skirmish on them. Actually sets off both of those Banelings, and he's going to come in, picks off a drone, and then does go for that Spine Crawler. Focus firing the Spine Crawler is Dark Minions, but great transfuse from Pollux. Good defense by him. Single Roach comes up to join the party. I always feel like the new Roach skin with these giant claws should be like a little bit tilting forward, like it's always about to like fall off a cliff or something like that. Those claws just look a little bit too big. But it looks like things are stabilizing out now. Lair on the way for Dark Minions. Lair also on the way for Pollux. But Pollux doesn't have that third base. They're tied in economy. The third base hasn't really given Dark Minions too much advantage up to now. But now, as he builds another round of drones, as all these drones rally on out to this third base, this is where his advantage is really going to kick in. We're going to see his income pick up and go head and shoulders above the income of Pollux. We can see it now about 500 minerals a minute more at the moment. And he's got a bunch of roaches out for safety as well, so Dark Minion's really in control of this game right now. Meanwhile, Evo Chamber and a Baneling Nest going down, actually, for Dark Minions. That's really surprising to get a Baneling Nest so late in the game. Curious to see what he's going to do with that one. A few more roaches are on the way for him. He's pushing out across this map, trying to get something done. Lair has finished up for both players now as well. Roach speed is going to be starting up here for Dark Minions. Is Dark Minions going to commit to this push? He might do. What have we got? We've got a few roaches for Pollux, 8 more on the way. His +1's almost finished, so Pollux actually should be able to defend his third if he gets over there in time. But, oh, he's seen the army. He needs to react. These Zerglings and Roaches are getting on top of that third really quickly. Pollux going down to defend. Unfortunately, I don't know if he's in time. He's pulling drones with this as well. He's kind of just boxed some workers along with his army. Decides to pull on back, and it looks like he will just sacrifice the third base at the moment. Dark Minions taking advantage after advantage here. Looking really good. But here come the Roaches. They've got +1 now. The Banelings blow up the Zerglings. Pollux going to take a fantastic trade. Going to annihilate the Roaches of Dark Minion and try and get one back for losing that third base. Behind this, Dark Minion has added an infestation pit. His +1 is still very far away from finishing. His Roaches are getting trapped right now. His Roach speed's almost done, but not quite soon enough. Loses a lot of Roaches on the retreat. Pollux is going to be moving back down to retake that third base. He's got the double Evo Chamber on the way. And Burrow as well for Pollux. So both players starting to kind of diversify their tech. I wonder if this is going to be Infestors or Swarmhosts for Dark Minions. I think both would be really good choices right now. Pollux is going to overextend a bit. Get out of there. Oh man, Dark Minions has Roach speed. He could actually chase those Roaches down. Luckily, Pollux gets a moment of inattention from Dark Minions to start retreating. And hopefully we'll get home. That Queen's dead no matter what. But he has to pull back as fast as he can right now. He's down about 15 army supply. Still is up that +1 attack upgrade, but not for much longer. Lots of Banelings morphing here for Dark Minions. A very surprising choice to add into his attack. Going for a lot of Banelings against the Roaches. Not a very regular call, but he's adding Baneling speed behind this, so I can see that's his mid-game composition choice. Just saying, let's just go Roach Bane, go for the super hard hitting army. And if you ever catch your opponent too clumped up, your Banelings just do massive damage. Dark Minions, he's going to commit. He's going to dive on in with this. Roaches and Banelings just attacking super hard against Pollux. These Banelings here not quite finding their way in just yet. But it looks like Dark Minions has the numbers. Pollux has to pull back. He has to try and find the choke. Oh, the Banelings get some pretty big hits there. Some really nice detonations. Dark Minions just going to move in here, overwhelming these Roaches really hard. And it looks like he has overwhelmed him for now. Oh man, Dark Minions, I think he's running away with this game. I don't know if Pollux can hold on here. He's already lost so many workers there. 13 workers just went down. They had to get pulled to help buffer for these Roaches. There's still not enough Roaches for Pollux right now. The upgrades are equal. Pollux +2 is getting close to done. He's actually using some sick Burrow micro right now to heal these Roaches. Oh wow, that might have actually been the key moment there. Burrowing a lot of those Roaches is going to be able to keep his third base alive this time, but he's only down at about half the worker count, so this is going to be really tough. By the way, guys, am I the only person who every time I see this icon in the production tab thinks someone's building locusts? I keep thinking it's a locust, not a roach. I honestly, that shit throws me off so hard. That stuff is like, ah! I'm like, how can you produce locusts without producing that? I don't even know, man. It looks like he's going to be building a Nydus network on his side of the map, his Dark Minions. +2 is finishing up for Pollux. That's literally his only advantage right now. He's just making drones and Ravagers. he is going to need the engagements of a lifetime in order to hang on. Because right now, Dark Minions mining 800 more minerals a minute, taking a 4th base, while the 3rd base of Pollux has a single lonely drone. Bob the drone mining away. Or actually, it probably wouldn't be Bob. It would be like the drone just mining away. He's got a friend now, but seriously, the income is crap for Pollux. He has so much less stuff right now. Swarmhosts are on the way for Dark Minions. Looks like he might want to close this one out with a little bit of style points. He's going to dive in here. These Roaches and Ravagers separated from the rest of the Roaches. Great positioning from Pollux. I love that concave management, actually. Pulls back, gets the good angle. He's got the Ravagers here for the extra range damage as well. So does force Dark Minions home for now. The question is, though, how does he deal with those Swarmhosts that are going to come out? He's still way down in that income. He's droned back up to 37 workers, but he's up against a 60 drone, 4 base economy Dark Minions. So Pollux here desperately needs to make something happen, but his army is small. It is not very big at all. And oh, he's in trouble. He's caught out in the open. And this is what he needs to focus on right now. He's going to be going in. Does catch a few Roaches of Dark Minions, but he's going deep. And Dark Minions has the Roach count here. Oh, Corrosive Bile. One actually landed on his own force, but the other ones did massive damage to Dark Minions. Not the worst angle for Pollux, actually. A lot of these Roaches were being stuck behind each other for Dark Minions. And somehow Pollux is actually taking a decent engagement here. I don't know how. His Roaches are actually overwhelming. Oh, he's got 2-1 now. He has 2-1 upgrades. Okay, that's what I was missing. 2-1 upgrades against just 1-0. He's hitting right before the 2-1 finishes for Dark Minions. Upgrades are so important in these Roach fights. The Corrosive Bile doing massive work as well. Dark Minions looks like he might just barely hold, but he's taking a... Oh man, taking a lot of damage here. Units lost tab are way in the favor of Pollux right now. And Dark Minions really struggling, but... He unloaded the Swarmhost in the midst of that, throws out a wave of Locusts, and he's going to go for that natural hatchery. No, he's just going to focus on the Queen first, and then the hatchery. But I think that wasted damage on the Queen. I don't know if he's going to get it. Is he going to get it? Oh my god. Goodbye, natural. Back down to 2 base for Pollux. Loses about half of his access to mineral lines there, but he dives back in on the front. He says, okay, you're going to kill my hatchery. I'm going to kill you. Dark Minions panicking a little bit. His Roaches getting surrounded here. They're trying to run, but they're just not doing much for themselves. And Dark Minions is starting to take a lot of damage. He's got 15 Roaches about to pop out. I think he was a little bit busy managing those Swarmhosts. He might need to bring them out to defend here. Pollux has somehow turned this from a game-ending position earlier to... Can he actually get back in it? He's up in supply right now. Just barely. The upgrades have equalized. Here come the Locusts, though. He needs to run. You cannot fight those Locusts. They deal insane damage. They attack so fast. Each one does about the damage of a Roach, except it shoots as fast as a Zergling. And it's a free unit. So it doesn't cost anything when you lose those. But those Roaches are going to be... Oh, they're going to be getting blasted down. Pollux coming in here. Continuing to take an okay trade, but that Spinecrawler anchoring this position. I think Pollux has run out of steam right now. And, oh man, he's trying to do some fancy Burrow Micro, but there's an Overseer there. The detection overhead. And Dark Minions, man, hangs on. Where is Swarmhost? His Swarmhosts are back in the Nydus. He's going to have to pop those out again, but Pollux isn't stopping. And right now, Dark Minions is struggling with just keeping up with the frontal Roach attacks. Doesn't have any mining on his own 4th either. So the income is actually up for Pollux right now simply because he has a fully mining 3rd base. And that's actually enough to keep him ahead. But Dark Minions is up in the army supply, especially with these Locusts as well. So if Dark Minions can just reestablish control, make something happen with those Swarm Hosts, then it's all going to be worthwhile. Pollux goes in with a single Roach. Still looking for these angles as Pollux picks off a Roach for free. Looking very good. Dark Minions feeling the stress, feeling the pressure. Let's go to Dark Minions camera right now. He's... Oh, this is Dark Minions camera. Okay, realizes his 4th is going down. I don't think he's going to get there in time. Pollux once again with a good snipe. But oh, he's going to punish it. He's going to trap these Roaches. He's going to say, okay, you get the hatchery, but I'm going to kill most of your Roaches. And he is just going on up. Yeah, nice starter step. Kills a lot of them. Meanwhile, he threw some Locusts on into that natural expansion. Managed to almost kill the hatchery again. Killed an Extractor and a few drones. Dark Minions all over this game. He's got that Nydus Swarmhost doing the damage. The Nydus does go down. Of course, the Swarmhosts do stay alive in the other exit of the Nydus. And a new one will be popping down there. These Roaches going to be coming on down. Looking for that engagement. He's at double the army supply right now. He is up about 10 Roaches. The drones have to be pulled here for Pollux. Pollux knows he is in trouble right now. The Nydus Worm pops up again. Out come those Swarmhosts, ready to throw yet another wave of these free units into that natural. There's only a few Roaches and Zerglings there to defend, and I think Dark Minions is going to clean this up. Oh, drones in the open. Oh, man. I love that Dark Minions got really fancy this game. You can see that, oh, he's gonna get he does get the natural one more time. Pollock taps out. GG. And that is how you almost throw a game. I'm pretty sure it's Dark Minions that submitted that. Thank you very much for that, mate. I really appreciate it. It was a good game, but man, those upgrades, right? I was like, hey, you're ahead. This is the perfect point to build Swarmhost, right? It's like, no, this is not the perfect point to build Swarmhost. you're way down on upgrades. And then, oh man, that roach timing from Pollux almost won the game. Even though he was behind for so long. I love you, Dark Minions. Well played, mate. Thank you very much for that submission. All right, guys, let's go into game 3.